Bring him on the show tonight, live from California. It's Tiny. What's up, dude? How you doing?
What's up, beautiful people of the world? What's up, April? How are you?
I'm good, man. I was telling Tiny before he joined, I'm like, dude, your voice sounds better than mine right now with that killer mic, so I'm a little jealous about that. Sounded
Give me a
good.
break.
Sounded good, looking good, man.
That's a beautiful AKG microphone there, headset mic. I think it's a C501.
Nice plug, dude. Nice plug. So we were talking just on the break just now, and Tiny is somebody I've been really looking forward to having on the show because he's got such a big heart for giving back to the community. Ever since we first met several years ago, you've always talked about helping the homeless people in the LA community, and some really cool things have happened by your getting involved like that, and especially something with a certain person named Victor. And I thought it'd be really cool if you could share that story with everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, first, let's say, let's give a round of applause for April Samuels because
Dude, thank you.
she's really an inspiration to me and a lot of other people that go ahead and do these sorts of things, that look out for other people. Because when you see someone like this, selfless, who's gone through so much and lost so much herself, and is able to give back like that and figure out a way to make what she went through helpful for other people, that's really what I want to do with like my life. Like I would much rather have people learn to play drums or learn to live life through love and happiness and experimenting with music and percussion and stuff like that. You know, that's what I would rather leave behind more than anything. And that is something that like April has in her that I look to and I go, hey man, that's inspiring for me to keep doing what I do. So yeah, I mean, this when COVID-19 hit and everybody was in like a pandemic mode and people were literally like freaking out all around me. I saw posts on Facebook from some of the most stable people and just freaking out. And so it wasn't even about politics, just about where am I and how much dough do I have and how am I going to keep everything afloat and what's going to happen. So
Right.
I just figured I needed to start looking out for other people and really turn that on again, big time, just looking out for people. I drive on the bike path every day to my studio. I see this old man and he's really well dressed and he's got a long gray beard and he's dapper and he's got like, you know, denim suits on and he's got like cool pants and he's got some sway and he's got like, he's not like a regular homeless guy. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the hell is going on with this guy? So turns out he is the bass player for the Gap Band. He was the bass player and band director for Natalie Cole. His mother was in Duke Ellington's band. His grandmother was in Ella Fitzgerald's band. His mother was in Ella Fitzgerald and Ray Charles's band, and his grandmother was in Duke Ellington's band.
Wow.
And this guy's just on the side of the road hanging out, and I'm like, what's your deal, dude? So turns out he's fallen on hard times. His things are in storage. He's like trying to figure out how to balance the budget, get his stuff out of storage. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? He has no money. He sleeps every night under a tree. I see him because he was wearing like this sequined hat. And I would just drive by and see this guy under a tree. And I'm freaking out about my well-being and where my money's coming from and how I'm going to pay the bills. And I look at him and just go, wow, it's not half that bad. So how do I help this guy?
It's that kind of stuff that puts life into perspective big time, man.
Well, yeah, because, you know, this isn't going to last forever. And someone that, look, the challenges that face us every day, you just got to look at them like, yeah, whatever. Next month, what is it? Like, next month, what is it? Next month, what is it? Like, because I've been out here for 30 freaking years and I've been struggling the whole time. It looks good, but let me tell you something. It's a struggle. It's a struggle the whole time. And the only way to get out of it is just to wake up every day and go, what is it today, sucker? Bring it. Because it's just the next thing just keeps rolling over. And so I attacked Victor like that. I was like, dude, what's the deal? What's your deal? What's the problem? What do you need? What's going on? And he was like, whoa. But, you know, we raised money for him. We got his storage paid. We got him into housing. We got him into a monthly, weekly rental, like a hotel place, but it's nice. It's not total Slumville, and it's really just incredible to get text messages. I can show you text messages from this guy every single day, that my girl and I get, talking about how much we've helped him and how we've changed his life, and how just simply asking him that day, "What's your name? How can I help you?" changed his life. You cannot help everybody by any means. I don't walk around with like a bleeding heart, but you can help somebody. So I'm always looking to help somebody. I don't care what day of the week it is. It's like, hey, someone needs some dough. Hey, this guy can do an oil change. Maybe I can help that guy because he does work, and I get that guy $50. Boom. I'm doing that all day. So.
Man, and you know, if there were more people like that, I mean, just think of the difference that we could make. And you know, that's what's so cool about, you know, being out in the community and meeting folks that have that kind of a heart, and then pulling those people together, you know, for a greater good, you know. And that's what
you know. It's funny. I think there are people out there like that. I think there are a lot more people out there than we are let on to know and to understand and to visually see.
I freaking agree with you. I mean, we have so many, you know, volunteers with that same heart, you know, that they just want to give. They want to give back. They want to make a difference. And it does help you to have a lot of perspective. It also helps you to be very grateful, which I said to Sandy last week. I was like, you know, the difference between a good person and a great person is grateful, being grateful. And I think that's so important, and having that perspective. And I mean, that's just an amazing story. And it goes back to
There's so much going on right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true, man. And so it's so cool that and a lot of people have been following that story. In fact, I see people commenting right now in the live chat. Lynn is saying Victor's story is so awesome, making a difference. Jennifer says, I heard you tell this to Rick Hare a couple of weeks ago on his live broadcast, and I just love this story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people have been following it, and you've done it on Instagram, you've done it on Facebook, and I've seen all the comments, and also just people kind of stepping up too.
It's kind of gone all over the place. I mean, like, if I was another person, let me just speak freely. If I was the average blowhard musician in Los Angeles that walked upon Victor, I would have already had a freaking documentary crew and made myself out to be the most badass human being there is. But that isn't the freaking name of the game. That's not what I do. It's not. And to be honest with you, when it first started happening, I was like adamant about getting him on the news and getting him coverage. And 9 out of 10 people have no idea what my motivation is with that. Look, I don't have to see myself on television or any. I have 40 pages at Google. I've been in movies. I've been beat up by people. I've been in movies with E.T.'s mom. I don't care. I'm cool. I'm good. I don't need any more flash. I just wanted Victor to get some help, and I thought maybe if I get him a news story, someone that knows him or someone that has some bitchin' housing for free will get him, because that's what happens with those stories, right? They see it far and wide, and someone goes, oh, this guy Victor's amazing. Like, I have housing, and I have kind of like pissed off old school curmudgeonly musicians in my housing, and I get it. I get this guy's perspective. That's kind of what I was trying to do. And I had a bunch of people contact me. And to be honest with you, I had a really big news agency in Cali contact me, producers on the phone for 3 days over the course of a few weeks. They dropped the ball, and they actually, for all they know, left a man on the street.
Right.
That's what they did. For all intents and purposes. And you know why? Because I wouldn't make the story about me saving this guy I wouldn't make the story black and white.
Right.
Okay? Because I don't care about black and white.
Yep.
A black guy, a white guy, I'm going to go kick the crap out of anybody that is mistreating anybody. You know, it doesn't matter their color. But the first day that I helped Victor, when I walked out of the storage place after paying $600 for two months storage for him, I walked onto a guy screaming at me, why am I helping this N? Why am I helping this man? Why am I helping? He using terrible terminology to call this man disparaging words. And I'm looking at him like, where did you just come to test me right now? Did you just seriously come to test me? Because I never wanted to beat the crap out of somebody and hug them and ask them why they hate so much in my whole life. But that's what happened that day. And that's why I said, oh, I got to take Victor and go get him a hotel room. I'm not going to leave this. And you know what he said to me? He said to me that happens to him all the time, that people drive by and call him an N and spit at him. And then he wouldn't take a tent from me, and he wouldn't take bedding from me because people might possibly steal it from him and or light it on fire while he was sleeping.
Holy cow, man.
So
I had
this
no
is
idea
Los Angeles.
that extent, yeah, that extent of all of that.
So
That's just
this is Los Angeles.
awful.
This is the
Yeah.
great Los Angeles. So he sits in the grass with his hat over his head like this, and he explained it to me. So I can see what's going on, man. So I can see who's coming for me.
Wow.
So
That's insane,
that's
man.
the real story. But
Yeah, yeah.
that's it's over and done. He's helped. It's done. I haven't written a screenplay. I haven't got an agent over this. No, nothing. But I really just wanted Victor to get like the story out and the props. Plus, he got douched on so many writing credits, and so many people kind of absconded with his talent, and just he didn't know what he was doing when he was young. This guy at 15 years old, he asked his mom, should I go to California to play with Joe Cocker? And his mom, Little Mary Hill, who was the backup singer in a Ray Charles band, said, yeah, you go. You pursue your dreams. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is music. So, yeah, I'm going to help a guy like that at all costs. I'm going to help a guy like that more than any other freaking rock star that might have a Patreon or a GoFundMe.
Yeah, because those kind of people really, really need the help, and they have that heart too. I mean, it sounds like.
And the roots that he's laid down for the rest of us. Like, we don't, trust me when I tell you that we don't pay homage to people enough. We don't give people props enough. And this guy was the bass player on Burn Rubber by the Gap Band. He played the synth clav on the Gap Band, Burn Rubber. Okay. He was also co-writer on 4 Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. He was flown to the Isle of Brunei by the Sultan of Brunei's son to produce the Sultan of Brunei's son's album.
That's freaking nuts, man. And he was on the
like
side of the
late
road,
70s.
and here you are.
And he's on the side of the road on a bench.
Right.
Nice as hell, too. Like the craziest. I mean, angry as whatever in a hen house. You got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
But he was like just nice as heck. So I couldn't help but try to help.
Well,
him.
how's he doing today?
He's great. He's having some car trouble. AAA changed the battery. We're trying to figure it out. My buddy Sean went over there the other day. That's my buddy. I got another friend that I'm like it's what it is.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's like you said,
another
though.
Day.
That's exactly like you said. It is. It's another day, and something else that's consistent among people that I talk to that do this kind of giving back and have this heart for the community is just the fact that you're not doing it for anything in return. It's a true heart for giving back and for helping people and just kind of like doing the right thing. You know what I mean?
You're not. And you know what? I think I'm getting so messagey, but we say that so much, and you're right. But it's good to get thanked. It's good to get thanks for going out of your way. Like, it's incredible what I've done for a bunch of other people just by way of going, hey, man, this and that, let's do this. During this COVID thing. And do you know who thanks me profusely every day more than everybody else? People that I've gotten like tens of thousands of dollars of EDD money. You know who thanks me more than anybody?
Who's that?
The homeless cat, Victor. The homeless guy, Victor. Thanks me every other day. Literally, I tell him, don't worry, it's okay. Thanks me every other day. Thank you so much. By the grace of God, you came into my life. Thank you so. I mean, if I showed you the texts, if I showed you or your viewers your texts, you guys would be bawling.
I can only imagine, man. I'm almost bawling just hearing the story.
I'm
seriously.
just saying, every other day, I get a text message from that guy, and then a bunch of other ancillary buddies that I've helped out with all kinds of paperwork, and they're like, hey, it's been months since I've heard. It's been literally months since I've heard from some of them.
Right. And it's Victor.
Like,
wow.
Okay, and then there's Victor, who's like, every day, man, thank you, dude.
Right.
Thank you, dude. So, you know.
Well, the thing about all this stuff is you've been like this since the day I met you. You know, the day I met you, you were always talking about helping homeless people, and then we asked you if you would get involved with Breast Cancer Can Stick It, and you just ran with that. Also, you were a host in 2017 and 2019. Incredible. Everybody here in Dallas just loves you. And you
It's
know,
too fun. It's too fun not to be part of it. It's just too fun.
yeah,
It's a blast.
we do have a blast, man. But what is like what really drives you? Like, what's the passion behind being involved with breast cancer can stick it specifically? I know drums.
Just just seeing the direct involvement, the hands-on, it's a tactile, tangible effect that you have, and that's why I do with what I do with Victor, because I'm able to see with these people how I can help. There was another woman a million years ago. Boom, needed some dough. Boom, paid it. Got in touch. It's like if you can do, you make it happen. You're there saying to the ladies, "What do you need?" Your team knows what's needed in the community. How many tests? You
Right.
know, you get it all together, and then that stuff happens. It's not caught up in some BS or some other paperwork, or there's no rival charities grubbing over power. It's like this is such a cool thing that you get together, and no one involved, honestly, goes there for any other reason other than they probably have someone that's been affected
Right.
by breast cancer in their life, or just has the talent and the energy to give back and wants to be part of flipping the whole thing, whether it's making people happy for that day or providing entertainment that day. That's why I'm there, because I just know that I can be goofy and have some fun and talk, and be the irreverent tattooed mohawk guy that everyone's like, damn, that guy's kind of nice. Let's be honest, I'm in Texas. You know what I mean? I when I was 19 years old, I got run out of truck stops in Texas, everyone. When I was 19 years old and I had long hair, I straight up got the Bob Seger songs happened to me in 1989 and 90 in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's great to be able to be a part of a community that I know I'm a little different in the mix. You know what I mean? I know you got Rick Hare. Now that guy's talented. And he has
there is Rick Hare.
And he has the hair. But the reason why I always, where's some wood right here? Knock on wood. The reason why I always get let go when I get pulled over for speeding, do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm almost 50. I'm tattooed all over the place, and I've never been arrested.
Yeah, they're
So
probably like
they love
freaking
that.
out. They're like, they like go and look it up, and they're like, "Well, heck, man, go home. This has been a really good
The
life for
first
you.
thing they
Keep
ask
it
me is,
going."
"Are you on parole?" I'm like, "Oh my God, for what?
For what?
You kidding me?" Oh,
That's awesome, man.
Shaw.
That's
But
awesome.
it's like I'm trying to just I've always been part of the black sheep crowd that was never really a black sheep. I mean, I've always been accepted. I've always been like the only guy in my whole crew of school friends who's tattooed and a musician and everything like that. So I kind of like to bring that into certain things that I'm involved in. I almost think about it like, what's involved there? Oh, they need this like tattooed crazy guy in there to show them the love and generosity and kindness and all that stuff goes all over the place with everybody. It's not just, people who look like school teachers or doctors or nurses or family people. It's everybody of all walks of life have this type of giving in them. So
Well,
that's
and
another
yeah,
reason
I
why
mean, you're right. Like with Breast Cancer Against Stick It, it's not your everyday breast cancer awareness organization at all. We have lots
no.
of tattooed volunteers and a lot of people like that aren't your standard, lack of a better term, soccer mom or whatever. It's a
Yeah,
lot of like
yeah.
rockers, a lot of musicians, and it's
Diversity. It's
yeah,
just crushing
exactly,
the
exactly.
stereotype molds of normal family patterns and everything like that, and the acceptable family molds and where that's gotten us. So we need to always be aware of diversity and color and culture and flair.
Amen. And you brought the flair, man. The last couple of years, you've definitely brought that flair. And so, was it 2018? I think it was. You were planning to come out. You were going to be our MC again because you nailed it in 2017. And then up came a tour, right? It was the
Yeah,
Bullet
yeah,
Boys came up. So tell us what that's been like,
yeah.
man. I know there's a lot of Bullet Boy fans watching tonight, and I'm sure they would love to hear, like, how long did you play with them as far as, I think you've done a couple of
I
different
did.
stints with them.
Yeah, it was trippy. It was like, I'd known Mark. I've known those guys for a lot of years. I can remember the first time I saw the Bullet Boys, I was in a band called Rude Awakening, and they were the special guests at the Whiskey A Go Go. It might have been 1989. And the special guests at the time were bands like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Dokken, Rat, those bands would just jump up on stage and play whoever's gear and just jump up, right? So Whiskey had house gear. They jumped up and played, and all the drums were like all over the place and discombobulated. And I was kind of pissed because I had to play next. And I remember like having words and like telling the drummer, Jimmy DeAnda, like to get out of the way for a second, I'll move the stuff. But they were awesome. And I remember thinking like back in the day, these guys are going to be big, and they were big. They were really big, and they were a great, staple of Los Angeles music scene. And they've always kind of been around. They went away for a little bit in the middle there, but then Mark put the band back together with Chad and Nick, and were just kicking ass for like 9 or 10 years. They had a few different drummers in the band that were actually my friends, and I was asked once before to fill in a tour or something because they had other drummers and it wasn't working out. I said, look, I don't want to go in now because my friend is the drummer, and just I don't, I'm just one of those guys,
Right.
And as it turns out, the drummer that I replaced, Joaquin, he and I were like acquaintances, but we weren't buddies. So I felt better about it. If seriously, it's just a little. These are all gears in a musician's head, folks. This is how they work.
It's
okay?
exactly true, man. You have to be careful. It's like brothers and sisters out there. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Sean Duncan was like my bro. Like, what's up? And Joaquin said, hey, how you doing, man? You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things, right? And Joaquin's killer. He played on the record from Out of the Skies. I did not play on From Out of the Skies. That's Joaquin Revuelta. But they contacted me again. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not super duper friends with Joaquin. I feel okay with jumping in. So we jumped in. Yeah, in 2 years, I got to play all over the place. Look, the only reason why I grabbed that gig is because I love those songs. They got great songs. It's a great foundation, kick-ass drumming that Jimmy DeAnda provided on those records. Ted Templeman produced that record and has produced countless Crusher, bands of that era.
Yeah, totally, man.
So all the beats and all the theories behind the beats you can think were well thought out and planned and scheduled, because I remember recording in the 80s and having producers, and they would literally come up to you, detune your snare drum till it was flat like a piece of paper, and tell you that your kick drum sounds like crap and change it, and then every single thing you did changed because your snare acted differently, your kick drum was different.
Man, when everything feels different, you're gonna play different. I know that drill, man.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I know how much time and energy went into those songs and creating those drum parts. And the reason why I got that gig is because I just showed up and I listened to that record and I played those drum parts exactly like they were written. I didn't have music, but there's no bass drum. Doom da doom da. Da, doom, da, doom, da. That's how it happened. You got to leave that bass drum out, all that little stuff. So those little things were so easy for me to nail because I'm a field player, I'm a power player, I'm a bottom guy. Peter Criss, Liberty DeVito, none of those guys were dainty, So except Peter Criss had that little Gene Krupa, scan. But long story longer. There you go. That's why I just dug playing all those songs, because it was a Ted Templeman, Van Halen thing, and you're just like, yes, I'm going to play these tunes exactly like they're written.
Yeah, it's so funny that you're talking about you don't hit the kick in that one part. And I know what you're talking about because we played that song too, and it was like you have to do it exactly like that. And then Jimmy has such a freaking heavy foot too, that guy, and so you just really pound on it and. Man, sounds great. And even like the video we just watched sounded great, man.
Thank you. And all I do is just I'll go back. A band hits me up, they want me to play. I just go to YouTube. What you got? Current. What they got? All right, that's what they were doing. Okay. Whoop. Yep. I'm like, I just look back at a couple of videos. I could see the guitar player turning around, looking at the drummer, going. So I just thought, okay. I think all I got to do is know these songs and I'll be good. And that's it. I just, you know what I mean? That's it. It was just basically know the tunes. And it was great. We played for like 2 years straight. We played all over the place. We did Europe. We did Australia. We had some fun tours. There was some pretty catastrophically attended tours. but that's just the name of the game. You know, some of these clubs, and I hope they learn. Maybe they're even listening. Uh, they just don't know how to promote. You know, and they never have. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and the club tour circuit's really rough because a lot of club owners are just in. They just open the doors for beer and hijinks, and then when a band comes through, like us, we're kind of just like the fodder for the week. So unless you promote it really well and know like, okay, every Thursday night we're gonna have like a more of an '80s crew here, or like on Friday nights we play just nothing but Rat and Poison and all that kind of stuff. So let's throw a flyer out for the Bullet Boys show, and then you'd get to the clubs and you would see like the U2 tribute band and all the love your band, but all the metal shop type of
Yeah.
bands. There was 27 types of promotions, but then the band like the Bullet Boys or any other national touring act, and I've been that guy since 1989, so I've seen it a few times. Uh,
Yep.
they're not promoting it, and then they get on me, and so like I took it to heart the last couple of years with the Bullet Boys, and I just told people, hey man, you gotta promote, man. It's not our fault. I can walk around here and not see a single poster, and we had the gig booked a month ago. I was told about this place, so don't know what to tell you. It was a blast though, because playing all those songs night after night, there's always people out there that are just going to be like, losing their mind over the memory or where they were when they had
Oh yeah, just like
that
reliving
album.
reliving those times in the
Yeah,
80s, the late
yeah,
80s is just phenomenal. I mean, all the bands that are coming back around and touring again now, it's so fun, like you said, just to relive that time. And
and there's a
it's
ton of bands like that.
yeah.
If I was a club owner, I would literally have like every Thursday night would be that night or whatever, whether I'm playing that type of music or I'm promoting those bands that play that type of music, and then I'm having a national act that is a national act that's that type of music. So you have some kind of a flow and continuity. Otherwise, you're just some guy who's going, oh yeah, I'm going to get this band on a Tuesday, and then for the two Wednesdays and Thursdays before, you don't even promote it at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. But I had a good time. But it was like pulling teeth, to get out there and get into the mode of like, okay, where are we going? Did they do the promotion? And that's just the nature of the beast with bands of that era.
Yeah, and
Just the nature of the beast.
it is common. It's tough. There are
Yeah.
some venues where they don't put forth the effort they expect the band to, and it's true. It can be really hard. But man, some of those fun gigs like that Monsters of Rock cruise, that looked
Yeah.
very killer. A lot of fun, and people were excited to be there for that music because I mean, like you said, just reliving all those times back in the 80s with all those killer bands and everybody's almost all those bands, they sound really great. A lot of them are sounding really
No,
great, even still.
and they do, and that's the thing. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, please. I don't. What I'm trying to say is activate yourself, activate your scene, activate your community page, whatever it is. If you're listening to this going, oh, listen to this guy, trust me, there's a point of view that I have that you might be able to help me with, and that is get out there, and when you see these bands coming through and they're coming through, hit up the bar owner and go, hey man, I see a freaking Chingachanga's coming through here in a couple of months. Why isn't the poster up?
Exactly. Yeah,
If I
exactly.
make one, when I was 19 years old, we had a magazine called Maximum Rock and Roll, and that's how bands booked their tours. And what my friend and I would do is we would buy bulk self-help tapes because there was always some wackadoo guru in Los Angeles that lost their ass on a cassette tape, and we would buy self-help tapes from people, and there were like thousands of them, and we would get them for like $50. And cassette tapes
Wow.
back in 1988 and 89 were not 20 cents and 25 cents.
Right.
So we would erase all that stuff on, and then we would put our own music on it, and then I would write out with a pen. I would draw a bunch of skulls. I'd make a line. Then I would draw my band's logo on the
Logo, right?
spline, make another line, and I'd make a J card that went inside the cassette.
Oh, I
And I
made
would
so
take
many J cards with paper back then,
take
and
that over to
yeah.
the copy mat
Uh-huh.
and get it, and then I would take that and I would send that to a club in the Midwest
Well,
And then I'd call them on the phone 2 weeks later.
yes,
Did you get it?
dude.
Yeah, we got it, but
Promo
we
kits
didn't.
in the folder.
Oh, that's we're so lucky now. We don't have to do
I
that.
know,
All you
man.
guys got to do is tell the freaking guy we're playing.
Yeah.
Click save on the image.
Right.
Print to your printer. Bring it to the club for me.
Exactly.
Love you.
Love you. Bye bye. That's so awesome.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and then you get there and there's 35 guys going, I don't know where anybody is. I mean, and you're like, dude, come on, help me out.
So freaking true. All right, man. With that, you got your drums right there. I was telling you earlier, you're one of the few guests that we've had on, and it has the setup intact there where you can actually play your drums and sound killer through Zoom and through our broadcast. And I would love you to lay down some drums right now, man. Are you up for it? Ooh, cool. I see a different angle. This is looking good. Hang on, let me let everybody see. Excellent, man. Have your way with it, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, I hear you now. What's
right,
up?
cool.
So how was that?
Dude, it sounded awesome. Amazing. I'm so excited that you have that set up there. And I talked to Tiny a few weeks back. I was like, dude, how are you doing that? And he kind of schooled me on some stuff. And I went and got some gear so I could do some of the same stuff. And, you know, having somebody on that's able
I had
to
your
play
logo
drums
back there. It went away. Sorry.
It's all right, man. Now we're plugging Apple. It's all awesome. And I want to tell you
Damn
some.
it. No.
What, man? Are you fixing? He's gonna go fix it. But I'm gonna tell you some
Oh, I
people
got
in
it.
the house right now. It says, let's see. Hold on one second. Ted Williams says, super cool. Ryan says, you're on fire. Courtney Woods says, sounds awesome. The breast cancer can stick it crew is giving it up in the house. Oh, Ryan's got a question for you, man. Ryan asked, what kind of adversities did you have to overcome to get where you are today?
That's a good question. Well, you know, at some point you just have to value yourself more than other people value you. And you really have to just come to grips that someone's always going to be trying to usurp you and devalue you and say you're less than. And you just have to find what it is, that little thing in you. I was actually born without a pectoral muscle in this arm right here, right? Totally weird. Like if you look at me, I'm so oblong. Like I have a full, yeah, how you doing? And then there's like, so that was something that when I was growing up, I had to deal with, like going to the pool, going swimming, everything like that, because my nipples were like literally lopsided, you know?
Yeah.
But my parents went out, remember when I was about 12 years old, my parents said to me, you know, we can get you an operation and we can put an implant in there and we can make it so that it's symmetrical and you can feel. And I said, you know what? I don't care. It doesn't hurt. I don't need it. When people look at me, I could care less. I like just, you know, flipping people off and just having a little badge of like chip, you know, something that made me different. And I heard someone say it the other day, and it was like the way they said it just said, God gave you a birthmark. God gave you something that just created you so different that why would you change it? Why are you going to try to do something that's, you know, it's not natural anyway? I don't need it. And for what reason? Just to have other people.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of it's along the same lines as to why I personally decided not to have reconstruction, is because it wasn't medically necessary. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm with you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that boat. It's just kind of like cruise along.
Yeah,
And
you're like,
roll
do I
with
want to
it.
do something else? I've already had this procedure.
Right.
I could do something else. You know, for me, it was like, what are we talking about here? You're going to cut me open and I'm 12. Let's not worry about that. So just to go back to your original question, it's like, man, you just have to wake up every day and just think you're the cat's meow. And that's how I overcame it. I just woke up and was like, hey, I'm different. Big deal. I'm the chubby kid. Big deal. Always had pretty girlfriends.
So see, it doesn't matter, man.
So
Just right there.
change
That's
it up.
a really
Yeah,
good
it's just
question,
really,
man.
yeah. And I don't even know that I answered it all the way succinctly, but that is where I'm at with that.
I mean, no, I mean, and we have some people in the broadcast saying that's solid advice. And Courtney says she's a breast cancer survivor. She says she likes that view a lot. So that's very cool. And I need to tell you, a couple of cool people are also, well, there's all cool people watching us right now, but Chip Ritter and Lori Peters are in the house. Chip and Lori Peters are in the house right now, and they're showing you some love right now, Tiny. So, man, dude, thank you so much. Oh, he's going to twirl now. God, he's so cool, right? Look at him. He's got the rock and roll faces and everything going on. Come on. Excellent. Dude, he's going to break something, hopefully not his face. I love doing that. He's out of control. Dude, man, thank you so much.
It was those words, Chip Ritter, just made me go,
I know, he's like bouncing off the walls now. Ryan wants to thank you for the advice, the amazing advice. He's the one who had that question, so he says thank you for
cool,
that.
Ryan, right on, man.
Yeah, cool. Well, man, Tiny, thank you so much for hanging out here on the beat tonight, man. It was such a pleasure having you, and always awesome to see you and chat with you. And you're a constant inspiration to me, and I know a lot of other people out there with all you do with your big heart for giving back. So, man, thank you for being here tonight, and I can't wait to talk to you again here real soon.
Well, it's great to be in your company and to be of service to you and your people.
Man, thank you so much, Tiny. I'll talk to you real soon. We'll keep in touch about Drumathon 2020 coming up here October the 4th, okay?
I'm in it. I got 5 cameras. I'm going crazy. Bing bong.
Sweet, yes, awesome. Thanks, Tiny. We'll see you soon, buddy. Later, man.
Bye.
Take care. All right, guys. That was Tiny Biuso out of LA, man. Really great to have him on the show this evening.